recently retired as Michigan State University's women's gymnastics coach, but tonight Kathie Klages is charged with lying to investigators in the Dr. Larry Nassar case. The allegations are Klages kept quiet for some 2 decades about sexual assault complaints that were brought to her. 7 investigator Jim Kurtzner live in Oakland County with the story and reaction that the story is generating. Jim.
That's right, Dave. Under Michigan law, a teacher, a coach, a caregiver must report to police or to Child Protective Services when a child tells them they've been sexually assaulted. In this case, that did not happen. In fact, the opposite with Dr. Larry Nassar.
I said that I was uncomfortable with what he was doing.
Larissa Boyce says she told Kathie Klages in detail what was happening to her back in 1997. And in this interview with 7 investigator Ross Jones, she said she was made to feel like she was a troublemaker.
Kathie just still couldn't believe it. She, her good friend, who she thought she knew, couldn't be doing something like that.
But Klages told her friend, Dr. Larry Nassar, who then confronted the young accuser.
And then I remember saying, "I'm sorry. It was a total misunderstanding," and then he continued to do it.
Some of the other Nassar survivors have told investigators they made complaints to Klages about Nassar as far back as 20 years ago.
Hundreds of kids would have avoided this awful.
Is this a cover-up in your opinion?
I don't think there's any question. But Jim, we've talked about this a lot over the years. In every case we see this kind of cover-up.
The charges were announced this afternoon by State Attorney General Bill Schuette, who appointed a special prosecutor on the MSU Nassar investigation. Schuette is running for governor. Bill Cycli has litigated many of these kinds of sexual assault cases over the years against schools and institutions.
During this political season, this particular person is being charged. I don't want to discourage that. I think we need to charge everyone who fails to speak and fails to protect young people.
Now, there are 2 charges against Klages for lying to investigators. One is a felony, up to 4 years in prison, the other a misdemeanor. Nassar remains in prison for what amounts to life with hundreds of these sexual assault cases. He was also charged by the feds with possession of child porn. And late this afternoon, we got a statement from another Nassar survivor, Lindsay Lemke, who said Klages told her that child porn had been planted against the doctor and that the gymnasts should have signed a sympathy card for Dr. Nassar. Live in Southfield, Jim Kurtzner, 7 Action News.